You need to have some sort of strategy for the bear and bull market cycles. Some people may have big bags that they can jump in and like, hey, if I see Bored Apes going to 80,000 or below, 75,000 or below, that might be a decent buy-in, or even lower than that. Same thing with like, so maybe you go for some of those blue chips, or if you don't have as fat of bags, maybe you're looking at picking up some like gaming related items. And my suggestion, was like, hey, look at things like So Rare or NBA Top Shots. You can get in on those for much cheaper, right? With those smaller budget, and the flips, you're not going to make as much, but it's all about the percentage, right? It's all about the percentage profit, right? So you could do that a million times over. You bought something for $5 and sold it for $7. That's a pretty decent percentage profit. It's not a lot of profit. You got to do that a bunch of times over, but there's an opportunity for anybody out there, and knowing what it is and sticking to it is important.
And here's a reason why Stash is an OG.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.
Welcome back, Secret Agents. Why, hello. It's old Stash Bert here, Bert Stash. Wasteland Stash. Furious Chicken Stash. Yeah, well, hey, it's Beetle Stash here, and we're gonna go into Gods Unchained. Uncle Stash wants you. Hey, it's me, Mario Stash.
Welcome to LFG Live 2, CryptoStache. How are you, my brother?
Y'all put me on blast with those old school clips, man. Me with that scruffy beard. Holy crap! Man,
oh, so good, man. I had so many more. I was editing, and we ran out of time because he's done so many of these.
People don't even know, dude. The funny thing about it is, I've been doing that show for so damn long, and like, some people watch it and they love it, and then when people even know me or like, well, I've never seen the Thursday show. What's it about? I'm like, it's all cosplay, it's crazy shit. And they're like, they don't even know. And I'm like, you guys got to go check that shit out. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks for that little featurette there, man.
Yeah, dude, I got to ask you, how many costumes do you have at your house?
Bro, I literally have a fucking trunk full of costumes here. And the craziest thing about it, okay, I think the total right now, I think I have 26 or 7 individual disguises.
Wow.
But the crazy thing about this, right, you think like, oh man, this guy's going, I had probably 22 of them already before I even started that concept of that show.
You're made for this.
My family, we're like Halloween nuts. We always do crazy big Halloween stuff. We do like serious custom decorations for our entire like yard. It's a whole like massive community thing. It's big. So anyways, I just had, a lot of costume Halloween stuff lying around. That was kind of part of the reason where that show came from. I love cosplay, and I kind of integrated that into the show, as my character is a secret agent, and he needs to wear a disguise to go out on these missions to show you all the best, play-to-earn NFT crypto games. So it's fun.
It's so good, man. I love it, man. And so I was going back on your YouTube and looking back. You started your channel in 2017 in September. Yeah. How did you get into this, man? For me, it was the documentary, The Rise and Rise of Bitcoin, back in 2017. I watched it on June 8th. And I'm curious to you, what was that trigger? What got you into the space?
Yeah, I started my channel in 2017, late 2017. But, before I did YouTube videos, I was actually writing. So I had the CryptoStache.com it was like a blog. And so I've been mostly just writing. And that's kind of my entry into the community of crypto. I actually first invested into 2013, beginning of 2014. That's when I first got into Bitcoin. Bought my first, stash at that point. Wasn't calling myself CryptoStache at that time, but so I was like, okay, I looked at this stuff. I'd actually seen Bitcoin in 2012, and I kind of dismissed it at that point. I was like, okay, this is cool, because I'm a tech guy. I've always been in the tech side of things, and I was like, all right, interesting, and I was like, but then when I was looking at it after I went through, I think it was like a Reddit, not Reddit, it was some other weird forum. It wasn't even Reddit. And I clicked the link, and it was like, oh, go check out Bitcoin, internet money. And then right next, like, you could buy it on this website, and like right next to Bitcoin, there was Litecoin. And I was like, what? Dude, there's two? No, man, no, this is totally a scam. I was like, I'm not down with this. But then 2013, the end of the year is when it kind of came back on my radar, and I read the white paper for the first time, and that was when things clicked. I was like, oh shit, man, this is game changing. I got to get in on this shit. I got to get it in right now. And I looked at the price, and I was like, oh man, it's like $450 or $500. That's kind of expensive, dude. Wow. Like $400, $450, and I was like, that's kind of expensive. I was like, but you know what? I gotta do this, man. I gotta get in. And so I bought in, and I bought a decent amount of Bitcoin. But then like 4 months later, Mt. Gox.
Yeah.
And there you go, first bear market ever. Like a real true bear market for cryptocurrencies. Up until then, it was just kind of like discovery, and I wouldn't really consider it to be a bear. But that was a huge bear market event, and just set the entire industry into a downward spiral. And so I'm like, damn. And then you're looking back, I bought the freaking top, guys. I mean, almost, very close to the top of Bitcoin at that time. But, at the time I was like, oh, it kind of sucks. I can't believe this happened. I was like, well, what am I going to do now? I'm just going to sit on it. Luckily, I did not have my crypto in Mt. Gox. It was sitting in my brand new, in this brand new upstart that had just kind of come on the scene called Coinbase. And everyone was kind of like, oh, Coinbase is a new user-friendly thing. And, and it kind of was compared to the shit they had in 2013. So I just kind of hodled through the next couple of years, and 2016 brought me back around because that's when I saw Ethereum. I just was like, I watched the price a little bit here and there, but never really got involved in the community. Wasn't looking at stuff, and then when I saw Ethereum, I was like, ooh, programmable money, like that's interesting. That's a little something different. Like you can do something, and it has that kind of thing. So Ethereum is what brought me back to the community, and so I started the CryptoStache brand in the beginning of 2017.
Yeah, you did. I have one of your earliest videos of it's not even content creation. It looks like you were doing training or teaching.
I was, yeah. Oh, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I love this.
Here we go.
I was. There you go. Look at me in suit and a fucking best.
Wow. Professor Stache. Love it.
Look at that. They're sophisticated. Look at the crowd.
We got to teach us Bitcoin mining. I love it.
Those were the days.
Oh, yeah.
Is Bitcoin only for criminals?
No.
At one time.
I totally knew that was what was funny, right? I totally looked like a criminal. Like, who is this guy? No, but like I told you, man, before I was really doing, what you see today, I was on the boots on the ground, man. I fully believed in this. I knew that I wanted to educate people, and like I said, I started with just a website in 2017 as a blog to kind of just document my journey. And then the middle of that year, or actually more towards the beginning, I was like, maybe I could do some classes and teach people what Bitcoin is. And it was mostly like 40 plus year olds that were coming there, maybe a couple of 30-year-olds and stuff like that were coming, and I was was a full full course on all the things you'd kind of need to know to get started. I even supply people with a little bit of Litecoin to get, nice. and they converted me. I was like, oh, Litecoin, easier to send, faster, because I could send it to people, right there during the actual training. And, I felt really good about that, man. And it got to a point where, I had 30, 40 people in a class, was doing them pretty regularly. And so, yeah, I still talk to a couple of those students from that time. But, my journey has obviously evolved over time, and as the markets have evolved too. And when I saw NFTs the end of 2017, I was like, "Fuck, this is the next big. This is it, man." Dude, I'm like this. I love this side because I am on the creative, fun gaming, type of side, and I really love that you could bring those elements and those aspects to programmable blockchain technology, and they got me, man.
2017.
Turned down CryptoPunks, so turned down some CryptoPunks, and they were like, "Oh, these things suck, man. Who wants this bullshit?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, "This is stupid pixelated pic. Like, I don't need this. Is dumb." And I legit turned down a free CryptoPunk. But CryptoKitties brought me in because I was like, oh wow, you can actually do like way more with an NFT like that. Having a token that's unique. Now I see why it can be powerful, what you can actually do with it. And so then like Cheese Wizards and some other bullshit that kind of came around that same time that like almost nobody, not many people picked up on. But I was like, I know this is it. And so I kind of like really made that more to my direction. And we saw gaming starting to come about with the advent of Engine, which I was using before they were in blockchain.
Oh wow,
dude! I don't know if you guys are big gamers or you really know, but dude, Engine was a company a decade before they started doing anything in blockchain. Wow! So they started off where they were a site where you could create a self-service website for your guild, and they kind of gave you tools that you could have for like memberships and like guild oriented things for like MMOs, RPGs, shit like that. And I used them for running one of my guilds in a game I was playing, actually multiple times. And so that's how I had heard about the Engine brand and what they were doing well before they got into blockchain. So when I saw them get in, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a good switch. I remember these guys, and so, yeah, then early on Wax too. I know Kagi was talking a lot about Wax. And so I was right there at the beginning of Wax. I was, talking with the team and using Opskins, which, like he said, the guy who created Forge Arena, Opskins was not blockchain enabled. When it was sold, it was like a platform where you could buy CSGO skins, and that was kind of Wax's entries. They were trying to kind of do this viral thing where it was a virtual in real life. It's an NFT, then you can get the real thing, and but that's when they first started doing NFTs on the platform. And I was actually one of the very first people to create an NFT on the Wax blockchain. Me and Ken Bozak. Yeah, there were these little stickers. They were like stickers. They were like little sticker NFTs, and they opened it up like when they first started. They opened it up for creators, and me and Ken Bozak were, I think, in the first or second batch of people who did NFTs there on Wax, and they've evolved since then, into what they are now, and kind of went away from what Opskins was, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really great things that kind of happened in those early days that nobody really knows. All the people who have come in the last couple of years, they're just like NFTs, and I'm like, I've been shouting this shit for fucking years, guys. Nobody knows shit. I was streaming for years, talking about it on Twitch. Everyone booed me off of that platform. Like it was I've gotten so much flack, the first couple of years about this, and even my good friends, from my core group of people, I kept saying NFTs, and nobody was giving me any kind of love, man. And then when they exploded, people like BitBoy Crypto, they're like, damn, Stash was right, guys.
Stash was right. He called it.
And he'll still go back to that and tell people on the channel, like, Stash had a number. I wish we had listened to him. And a lot of my community did, and they've definitely profited quite well because of that. And yeah, so.
How about right now, though? Like, what are people ignoring, or like, what should we be looking at? Maybe new people, or just everyone here in the stream that maybe isn't so obvious.
Well, I think there's a lot more eyeballs on crypto in general. So when we talk about like, well, what's the thing that no one's doing, that no one knows about, that's hiding in the shadows? I think a lot of the really good use cases for crypto and, the greater ecosystem of crypto, which, incorporates DeFi and NFTs, all that jazz. I think that, we have a really good base of like, well, what does this technology, how can it actually help things? Versus like, well, okay, let's just throw a blockchain on it or throw some NFTs at it, at this idea, and sure, we'll make money. I think it's really about what problems can this solve? And there's a lot of problems out there that still aren't being solved by blockchain that can be solved. So I think we'll see, as we progress here, it go past the surface level we're seeing right now with, a lot of speculation, not that that's going to ever go away, but really, in things that are everyday use cases, in particular with NFTs. I was just talking about this on my live stream show on Tuesday, NFT Beat, where a guy, an anonymous hacker, got served a subpoena through an NFT. It was the first one ever, and it was an international thing, so it wasn't here in the United States, but it was an official legal thing. They served this anonymous dude through an NFT, and I was like, that's brilliant. I did kind of the same thing when some douchebag stole my @CryptoStache Wax name. So they have my @CryptoStache account name. It's the only place I don't have my full username, and I did the same thing. This was like 2.5 years ago, and I was like, I sent them an NFT saying, please, sell me this name. I'll buy it from you. And I sent them the NFT, and they've never done anything. It's a dead wallet. I don't know who has it, but if you're watching, damn it, give my damn CryptoStache name back.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay. Like Seth Green, man. He lost his ape, and he had to pay a bunch to get it back. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like new hot stuff, like people aren't paying attention to. I mean, I still really like the concept of DAOs. I do think that there's something there. Same thing like, play and earn gaming. I really do think that there's something there. We just haven't found the right formula for it, right? We don't want to just be a DAO just to be a glorified Discord server. There has to be a little bit more going on there. So I think that we're still testing in a lot of those areas and finding out what is going to really work. But and this is what I've always said for the last few years, is I really truly believe that what will bring crypto mainstream is going to be NFTs inside of games. And we're already starting to see that. We're starting to see big companies actually get on board now. But the next big thing on the horizon is regulation. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But they're coming for us. You know,
They
coming
are.
for us.
Yeah. So I got to ask, I was staring at your T-shirt there, and it says NFT LA.
Oh.
Are you heading to New York here in about a week for NFT New York City?
Yeah. So I'll be at NFT NYC, and I'm going to be speaking on the first day. So I have a really good panel of people. Actually, I don't know if you guys got the chance to check it out. What I posted on the old Twitter today, but
I think Kaggy's on there too, right? On the panel, which
yeah. So Kaggy's on the panel. It's the panel's on how gaming can successfully incorporate NFTs. So we got Kaggy on there with me. I got Sebastian Bourget from Sandbox, the CEO.
Nice.
I got Sarah McKenna from Alien Worlds is going to be on there. Amy Wu from FTX. And James Park, who is Revolving Games. They're the ones that just launched with the announcement with Gala that they're doing that new Battlestar Galactica space game. So that's gonna be a hot panel, man. It's gonna be a really hot panel. That's Monday, I think. Tuesday at 5 p.m. in the Radio City Music Hall. So we'll be on I think that's the big stage. So.
Nice, man.
Sounds
We're the only group in the space that is not going. Apparently, us three are here in San Diego in a house that we've got a bunch of green screen rooms. And we're not going to be there this time, but
Don't worry, man. You guys are close.
man.
Yeah, you guys are close, man. I'm in Long Beach, so we're
I thought you were on the East Coast for some reason. Dude, that's awesome.
No, man, I rep West Coast, man. Come on, Buffalo.
yeah, baby,
I didn't listen.
we're making a road trip up north, boys.
Yeah, dude, for sure. We got to get you down here to the compound, too,
we
man.
got to hang out, man. That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Hell yeah.
Or I can come down to you guys in the studio, and I'll just hop in what
Dude,
shit, he's
we'll
right
go
here.
live. We'll go live,
Yeah,
bro. Because I moved down from Seattle to come down here to San Diego. Got a 5-bedroom house. We've converted into a whole production house. And
awesome.
yeah, man, would love to have you down here. So I got a comment here in the comment section. I had to bring it up. By the way, I have a question for CryptoStache. Does bear market affect the stash, like its mood? Because this person believes stashes are alive. And I'm curious to talk about your stash for real quick if you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Do you
Might be
put
personal.
wax in your stash? Is that why you like the wax blockchain? Or what do you put in the stash to get it so stashy-like?
Well, that's not why I like the wax blockchain. There's many
Okay.
reasons. We can talk about that later. But no, man, I roll out of bed like this. I literally wake up. I look this good every single day. I'm sleeping.
Were you born like that?
this.
Did you just had a stash line when you were a kid?
I mean, yeah. So I use like a pomade actually, which is what I found
nice.
works the best for the stash. But when it's not up like that, it still is like boop, it's just not as pointy. So. But yeah, I mean, do the bear markets, does it affect the stash? Like the stash is where I derive all of my great crypto and gaming NFT power from. It's kind of like a lightning rod. You know what I'm saying? It's just like right into the bull stash. And so like even during a bear market, this stash is bullish, like that's just how it goes. But that doesn't mean that things aren't going to like drag my actual, motions down. That's Celsius news, man. Woo, that got me because I got to say, I was a part of Celsius since the beginning when they first launched. I was like, I'll test this out, and I put in $20.
Ooh.
And then I was like, all right, a month or two went by. I was like, okay, all right. I put in like $200, right? And then I kept going, and I kept loading things up, and I was like, all right, cool. Then I ended up interviewing Mashinsky a bunch of times, and became a pretty proud Celsian. What they were doing, and kind of seeing how things went here over the last week. Once I saw them kind of getting wrapped up with the whole UST thing and Luna blockchain, I was like, ooh, I could tell that there was probably something going on, that they were probably doing some things that were riskier than what they should be doing to try and get those yields. And, unfortunately, though, I didn't get my stuff out in time. I had everything ready. I had all my addresses, and I just didn't get to it. And I was like, I trust me, I kicked myself, man, because I had quite a bit locked up in Celsius. I know there's a lot of other people, do as well. And, some people are just like, how could you have done this, Stash? You're smarter than this. You should know that these crazy yields that they're giving you, they're like, it's unsustainable. I was like, well, let me put here. First off, there's a lot of other platforms that had shadier ways to give you yields that were much higher that, weren't of this same sort of nature. Alex was very visible CEO. He's done other companies.
Mm-hmm.
People will say, oh, he's got a password doing things like this. But I mean, when it comes down to the team, like I had talked to them for a long time. I felt like this was a pretty solid team that was really, truly working to do something like this. And, I think a need for a product like this and why so many people wanted to use it derived from the fact that we are getting totally screwed when it comes to saving in USD.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, and that's kind of like what we see here, not just the American dream, but the global dream of like, okay, if I work hard, I save, I'll be able to afford things like a house, and be able to pay for things like, my kids' college tuition and live comfortably. And a lot of people have been these, that's kind of been the notion of like, yeah, save, be diligent, work hard, and you'll make it too. But, with inflation, the way it's been, how are we going to do that anymore? It's not, the things that we have, the ways we have to save are not keeping up with inflation. You're getting 0.1% if you're lucky, and inflation's at 8% plus. So then you think about like, okay, well, I'm just trying to keep up with a little bit of inflation here and get some yields on my cryptocurrency for something like that. And obviously, every time I talked about Celsius, I was like, look, guys, this is literally the only centralized third party that I use at all. And there is risk here. You're giving your crypto to somebody else. So there is a risk that something is going to happen with it. And, unfortunately, it affected, 1.7 million people, which is a pretty significant amount of people. And we're at a point right now where like, I don't know that anyone's going to get anything back, but you never know, I guess. I'm hopeful, but skeptical at the same time. So it's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, it's too bad. It affects the market as a whole too. It drives a lot of other stuff down and trust in a lot of this space too. So hoping for the best though. Buff, were you going to say something?
Yeah, man, I think it's just one of those. This is a time where we really want to hear from the OGs on the mental approach to this game right now, and a different, the bear cycle for a lot of people, they leave. Like, we're in since 2017, and you've been in a lot earlier too, and it's like, for people that lose that faith because of the value of the assets, they aren't understanding the technology and the testing that's going on, right? We're literally proving it right now in front of us each cycle, what works, what doesn't work, how trust is taken, all the rugs that have happened, how the DAOs bring this like utopian mindset, but rug everybody. Every DAO I've been in, I've been rugged. But I still keep buying into the DAO because I believe in people, but people keep rugging me. So I've got to figure something out deep in my life, bro. But I'm curious with your stash. How do you feel about this bear market, man? How are you dealing with this, and what's your mental approach right now?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, I think that number one, the best way to deal with the bear market is with your community, and that's what I'm kind of doing with my community of stashers. We're in Discord, we're on the live streams. I do a live stream almost every single day. Nice. And so we're talking about this, we're supporting each other, and that's how you got to do it, man, is get through it with your friends, get through it with, your favorite people out there, and just continue to support each other. And so, when we hit bear markets like this, and I see a bunch of like I told you so people out there that are just being completely unkind in all these situations. They're unkind to the people who were in Luna. They're unkind to the people who were in Celsius and now 3AC and a bunch of other things going on. Like I hate that kind of behavior, and that like what I try and do is foster a environment with my community, like I said, in my discords like that is the opposite, man. We want to be kind and caring for our fellow, crypto enthusiasts out there, and be supportive as much as we can, because you don't know what people are going through, man. You don't know the trials and tribulations, and there's already people who have committed suicide because of stuff that have happened with Luna and stuff like that. And so I mean, and that could be as simple as a really bad comment that someone's like, oh, you're a piece of shit, you're a moron because you believe in this stuff, and like on Twitter, on social media. It happens all the damn time, man. So you really never know who you're affecting. There's a bunch of just assholes out there that just don't care. They're toxic AF and don't really care. So I try and be the opposite of that. I try and be kind, listen to people's stories, be supportive as much as I can. And, and obviously outside of that, right, that's my main goal. We want to look at, well, what is our strategy? And this is something I was just talking about as well on my Tuesday live stream, in particular when it comes to NFTs. You need to have some sort of strategy for the bear and bull market cycles. And, your strategy is going to be different than others, but, in general, there's kind of two ways. You're looking at like, okay, well, did I take profits? Do I have some dry powder? Do I have some money and currency in some sort of form on the side where I can time the bottom within 20 or 30%, which is what you're kind of wanting to do, what that bottom is if you can, and find some good buys, some things that you can hodl on for this bear market, and then, do really well in a bull cycle and be able to rinse and repeat those profits. And so you're talking with some people, I was like, some people may have big bags that they can jump in and like, hey, if I see Bored Apes going to 80,000 or below, 75,000 or below, that might be a decent buy-in, or even lower than that. Same thing with like, so maybe you go for some of those blue chips, or if you don't have as fat of bags, maybe you're looking at picking up some like gaming related items. And my suggestion was like, hey, look at things like So Rare or NBA Top Shots. You can get in on those for much cheaper, right, with a smaller budget, And the flips, you're not going to make as much, but it's all about the percentage, right? It's all about the percentage profit, right? So you could do that a million times over. You bought something for $5 and sold it for $7. That's a pretty decent percentage profit. You know, it's not a lot of profit. You got to do that a bunch of times over, but there's an opportunity for anybody out there. And I think that, you know, having that strategy and knowing what it is and sticking to it is important. I try and practice that, you know, and take emotion out of things. But man, I'll tell you, sometimes the FOMO gets me.
Yeah.
And you know, recently I did FOMO into something, and right at the damn top, and it sucks. I feel bad, but
I heard about this
been a
one.
long time.
We will not mention
It's been
it.
a long time since somebody got me.
Yeah.
But Steppen got me, and I bought the top of that shoe market, dude. Like real hard. Top of that shoe market, real hard. FOMO'd in, dude. And I'm telling myself, as I'm hitting the button, I'm like, Stash, don't do this, don't do it,
Gonna step on me. Damn.
Get my
bro.
walking
And it's
shoes.
like they knew. It's like everyone knew I did, and then like immediately just like Stash is in, guys. That's it. It's the top. Let's
It's
sell.
the top. Just watch your wallet.
China heard me. China knew I got in. They're like, oh shit, we got to tell Steppen official that we're out. You know, that they can't have our users anymore.
Cut him off.
Like, literally, they're like, hey, it was like, come on, man. You're like, they knew. They've been watching my account. Like,
Yeah.
Well, Stash. I want to because education I know is what you press all the time. You've been doing it since 2017, and you know, and you're doing streams like daily. You said, let's tell how can people go follow that along, because like maybe lay out some of the streams that you're doing and how they can follow you, where they should go, because I know your community. It's like the right community. It's not like the most. I think you said this. Like your Discord's not the most massive, but it's like the right people doing the right shit together. So yeah, give us a
I
scoop.
like
Where's it
having
go?
a small Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, just follow you. How do they get to the Discord and all that? Because I think
So if you want to get all the stuff, just go to cryptostache.com, just like it is right there, cryptostache.com. All the stuff is there. I have a great website. You can keep up with all my content. But then, you know, I'm on all the platforms. Wherever you're at, man, I'm there. You can't get rid of me.
Can't
So
run
if
away
you're on
from the
Twitch,
stash.
I'm on Twitch. Yeah, the only place I'm not at CryptoStache is on Twitch, and it's at crypto_stash. But yeah, I'm on, you know, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. You know, you can jump in my Discord there, and you know, Instagram, Facebook, if you're still doing that, I'm on there as well. And so yeah, so you can kind of go and check out the website, and you can jump in the Discord there. You can see all my live streams when I'm doing them. It's all pretty, you know, everything is there, and you know, jump in the you know, newsletter if you're not really engaged all the time and just want a quick recap every week. So yeah, so you can find me there, and definitely would love to have you guys in the community.
Oh, for sure, man. Would love to be on Around the Metaverse. Love that show. Kaggy and Q have been on it. And when I saw you put that on.
Dude, yeah, I got to get you guys on that show, bro. I cannot
Yeah,
believe I have not had one of you guys on there
We'll get to it.
at the
We'll
very
get
least.
there for
So
sure,
I'll
man.
have my channel manager, Adom. Adom's the host, and I'll have him reach out to you guys.
Yeah, he's a great host, by the way, man. Yeah,
Thanks,
a
brother.
great guy there for sure.
So wait. Well, hey, thank you for everything, my man. Let's do it again. This is having fun, and the chat's still popping off. So I want to give away something quick, but Stash, appreciate you. I wanted to do this as like a sign off. I don't have enough.
Dash up, gentlemen. Come on, you guys got facial hair, man. Next time I expect you guys to all try.
We will have massive
Like, oh,
stashes.
damn.
We were originally going to call this crypto beards, but felt it was too derivative.
The three bearded men.
Yeah, man. Dude, appreciate your OG-ness and spreading the good word here. So keep it up, and,
Thanks,
and we'll
guys.
do it again, my man. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Later,
out.
Stash.